Tara, would we do that at the very beginning of the meeting, or you want us to do it that?
I'll call for that after I open the meeting. How's that sound?
Sure.
That's good.
Let's call the meeting of the New Ulm City Charter Commission meeting on July 27th to order. The first item of business is we have a potential amendment to the agenda. Mr. Schultz?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, if I could please, I would like to offer amendment to our agenda tonight for the last item to be to approve or disapprove of moving the charter to the city council for final approval.
Okay, we've got a motion. Does anybody want to second that motion?
I second.
Motion and second. Any discussion on adding that agenda item? If not, all in favor, we have to call roll, excuse me.
I'm sorry, you guys, we have to roll call because of me.
Commissioner Jensen?
Here.
And yay on the,
Yeah, I thought you were roll calling. Yeah.
no, sorry. Commissioner Swan?
Aye.
Commissioner Margraf?
Aye.
Commissioner Brownfield?
Aye.
Mr. Christian?
Yes.
Commissioner Weiss?
Aye.
And Commissioner Schultz?
Yes.
All right. Let me read this notice before we go any farther. Receive and order filed the public notice notifying that due to out-of-town travel, Commissioner Les Schultz will be remotely attending the New Ulm Charter Commission meeting tonight via Zoom in accordance with Minnesota Statutes 13D.02. Okay, our next order of business is approval of minutes. And I think those were included with your packet. Anybody have any comments on that?
Just a change of my spelling of my last name with one F. Sorry. That's all right.
Anything else? If not, anybody want to offer a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Motion, anybody second? Motion and second for the approval of the minutes. Any further discussion? If not, we'll call roll. Commissioner Jensen?
Yes.
Commissioner Swan?
Yes.
Commissioner Margraf?
Yes.
Commissioner Heine?
Yes.
Commissioner Brownfeld?
Yes.
Commissioner Christian?
Yes.
Commissioner Weiss?
Yes.
And Commissioner Schultz.
Yes.
All right, moving on to old business. It's the language change to the charter to establish a code of ethics. And I think you have some draft language that was presented with the agenda. Any comments or questions on that?
I think it
Tara, do
looks
you
good.
have any questions on or comments on this?
I guess all I would add is, this is nothing new that we're adding here. This is already part of statutory requirements. It sounds like this is just to be added here for clarity and as a reference point. So there's nothing new really being added just for clarity.
I had two comments. So in about the fourth line, it talks about So, official with a personal financial interest or otherwise so personally interested. And we had a little discussion about that last meeting. How do you define a personal conflict of interest? And that isn't really defined in the policy, but I'm not sure that we could either. It's probably so subject to change depending upon the conditions. But anybody have any thoughts on that?
So I would just say, if you continue reading that sentence, this is Chris Dalton, city manager. It's personally interested isn't defined, but it states that as long as it doesn't interfere for them acting in the public interest. And I would say, looking at it would be blight would be one where, we have counselors that do report blight on a regular basis. And they're doing it because they want the city to look clean. And when we have issues that come up, they are able to vote on it because it's in the interest of the city, not their own, personal gain or anything like that. So I think as long as we as, I as the city manager or the city attorneys and even the other counselors can look at something where they're acting, where there might be some personal interest, as long as we can distinguish the act of they're acting in the best interest of the city and not solely for themselves. I think that's where we can draw that line.
Okay, thank you. My other comment is in the second paragraph about the fourth, fifth line. So it says, the interested official who has a conflict shall advise the city council of the nature of the conflict. How about, should there be language in here about them recusing themselves from voting? Or is that understood?
But that we normally do if there is a conflict, they announce it at a meeting. That I won't be voting on this or whatnot.
Right.
I think the first part says that any elected official.
First part, yeah.
Part you're referring to is the process, but the first sentence of the whole paragraph presumes that if there's a conflict, you're going to refrain from voting.
Right.
I think we're good on that one, yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Everybody happy with the language we've got?
I am.
If so, a motion would be in order.
I'll offer that motion.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Schultz. Do we have a second?
I second.
We have a second from Commissioner Margraf. Any further discussion? If not, we'll call the roll on that one. Commissioner Jensen,
Yes.
Commissioner Swan,
Yes.
Commissioner Margraf,
Yes.
Commissioner Heine,
Yes.
Commissioner Braunfeld,
Yes.
Commissioner Christian,
Yes.
Commissioner Weiss, and Commissioner Schultz.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Under new business, first item was to amend the charter related to the New Ulm Fire Department. I think Mr. Dalton had some comments on that one.
Yes, I went through the new policies and I didn't see any conflicts between the policies and the charter. So I would like to ask to have this item removed from amending.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. Do we need a motion to do that? Anybody recommend? Or should we just say no action taken or something?
Say no action taken.
So can we get a motion to that?
I don't know that you need a motion for that.
No motion? All right, we'll just ignore it.
Not doing anything.
Yeah.
It's not a change, so.
That's true.
Did not do
But
anything.
yeah, there you go.
Do we all agree?
All right. If everybody's happy with what we've done, I think our next item would be to recommend that these changes be forwarded to the council for their consideration. Anybody ready to make that motion?
I'll motion to add the language of the charter establishing a code of ethics or statement relating to conflicts of interest as submitted and forward to council for their action.
We have a motion. Do we have a second on that?
Second.
I think the intent here is to forward everything we've done over all the series of meetings we have. That's my understanding. Chris, would
That would be correct.
So maybe, do we want to amend that motion to include everything that we've done as
Yeah, we need-
as a commission?
I would say amend the motion to add all approved language from the previous meetings.
Okay, I'll amend the motion to add all the actions that have been taken by the City Charter Commission and forward to council.
All right, do we have a second on the amendment?
And I'll second that.
All right. Any further discussion on what we've accomplished? So help me, do we need to vote on the amendment first?
You do it.
Can we do them both?
Just the motion, don't we?
Is the amendment.
It's the
Right, I
amended
motion to amend it, so
Yep. Right.
you don't do it once.
We're good. Just vote on this one.
All right, we're going to vote on the motion and the amendment. All in favor. So Commissioner Jensen,
Yes.
Commissioner Swan,
Yes.
Margraf,
Yes.
Heine,
Yes.
Braunfeld,
Yes.
Christian,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
That one
Yes.
has carried also. Do we have any further announcements? I'd just like to say,
Oh, go ahead, you first.
I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. I think we've done a great job. We've accomplished what we set out to do.
Thank you for sharing.
I would just thank you to everyone. I know it took some time, and then the next steps would be it would go to City Council. There will be a public hearing involved, so the public has a chance to chime in on any of the amendments that were brought forward. So there still is a public process to go.
All right. I think we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
well,